Greetings. Once again, it's your brother, Elder Blacklight. And we're going to touch on the subject in the terms of practical sense. I mentioned it in my last video. Instead of using common sense, or that term common sense, because common sense ain't so common anymore. And normal practicality is not normal anymore. So let's break down the definition before I get further involved in the conversation. Practical defined, number one. It has several definitions. So I'm going to read all of them in short form. Of or obtained through practice or actions. Useful. That's number one. Of or obtained through practice or actions. Number two. Useful. Number three. Concerned with the application of knowledge to useful ends. 4. Given to actual practice. 5. That is so in practice, if not in theory, law, etc. That is so in practice, if not in theory, law, etc. 6. Matter of fact, practice, capabilities, sense. Number 6. Matter of fact, practicality, matter of fact, and practicality. Now I'm going to define sense. I'm just using the third definition, the ability to understand intelligence and judgment. Now, we're not used to that. The black man and black woman are not used to practicing sense. We are used to relying on your slave master. I'm not going to say former because he's still your slave master. If you're wearing his names, any European name, if it don't have a root in your ancestors' original language, then you are his slave. That's a brand. Names are a brand. And we'll get into that later on the program. The reason why I'm setting this up is the stimulus checks and the con game that the government is playing on the people, executing a fake authority over the lives of its citizens, so-called citizens. The black man actually is not a citizen, but he wants to be one so bad that he'll let the Caucasian piss in his face and call it rain. You don't execute practical sense. Even Yakub followed the laws of Allah or nature in making of the Caucasian. You know, see, because we got so many of our people wanting to claim homosexuality, and they heard the white man say, you could be born like that, and they go to church, and then they go. Now these people that go to church, at least 50% of them are homosexuals or bisexuals or something, and then they gonna say that the laws of Allah or the laws of God don't matter. In Leviticus, we're going to point that out later on. God said definitely that's an abomination to lie with another same sex. So Yaqub had to follow that in order to produce. He had to follow the laws of Allah in order to produce the Caucasian. You cannot make another person or people with the same sex. You see? So the government passed a law saying that, or a decree saying that it's okay for two people of the same sex to marry, lie with each other. Then what they're going to do is they're going to adopt children and raise them up in their frame of mind. It might not take on everybody, but the majority of them it's going to take on. And then you're going to have a bunch of community or nation of gay or unlawful people practicing unlawful acts. And the United States said they have prayer before every session in the White House, and they're gonna say they following the laws of Allah. No, they following the laws of the Antichrist, anti-nature. So dig this. Let's get into the stimulus checks. What does this have to do with the stimulus checks? I'm gonna tell you.
Now to the latest on those $600 stimulus payments. The money now on its way to millions of Americans across the country as the push to increase the checks is locked in another standstill on Capitol Hill. Rachel Scott is live in Washington with the very latest. Rachel, good morning.
Wick, good morning. And some Americans could be waking up this morning with that money already in their bank account. The Treasury Department says they started sending out those $600 stimulus checks yesterday. Now, if you have direct deposit set up with the IRS for your tax returns, the money will go straight into your bank account. Otherwise, you will be receiving a paper check. Those are set to go out later today. Americans who earn $75,000 or less can expect to receive the full $600.
Now, time is running too short for us to actually explain the game or con game that they're playing on you. But try to figure it out for yourself, until the next video. We see if we match up. Black light.